Spurs have gone ahead to lose their third game consecutively. Guys, it's not good at the side of Spurs, and I think the pundits should obviously put respect to teams like Arsenal, Manchester United, that have gone ahead to obviously weather through the injury storm. You know, Spurs has not even reached the levels at which Man United were when it comes to injuries and Arsenal, but they've gone ahead to lose 3 games consecutively because they don't have Yefis Bissouma. He's suspended. He accumulated, I think, 5 yellow cards. Then they don't have James Maddison, Richarlison, Sergio Romero, Van der Ven. So 5 players out, and they're obviously phasing to the losing side every past 3 games they've gone ahead to play. And today, Aston Villa have gone ahead to come in through and beat them hands down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Remember, the last game they played here was against Chelsea, and Chelsea beat them by 4-1. Now, in the 22nd minute, Richarlison went ahead and obviously put them ahead. He had spent 2 years without starting a game of Tottenham Hotspur, but he came into the double pivot to play with Bentancur because they never had Yefis Bissouma, and Metas, I think, is also having a problem because he was not part of this. Then in the 45th minute plus 7 minutes added, Pau Torres capitalized onto the Douglas Luiz free kick that was really brought in very well into the mixer, and he headed it home to make it 1-1. That is it. And when you look at Douglas Luiz, I'm obviously going to talk a lot about him because he has gone ahead to improve a lot under Unai Emery, and teams like Arsenal are really vying for his signature. Then in the 61st minute, Olle Watkins went ahead to obviously give Aston Villa the first lead of the game, and they went ahead to obviously close it down very well, and the 27-year-old and them a lead. To talk about Olle Watkins a little bit, he is really firing in all cylinders, and he has gone ahead to play 13 Premier League games. He has 7 goals and 5 assists. That is Olle Watkins for you, and he is not going to stop scoring goals. And I really fancy him as one of those people that really have gone ahead to put in a shift that everyone has to really respect. And I would like to confirm to you that amidst everything happening at the club of Aston Villa, they've really gone ahead to obviously get in that mentality that they can obviously beat this side hands down, and no one is obviously going to stop them. No one is going to stop them because they've been winning a lot from home, and I think at home they've gone ahead to win, I think, 14 consecutive games or 13, but away from home has not been easy for them. But today, coming in through and putting in what we call a resiliency fight to collect 3 points of Spurs was really important, and their win has gone ahead to see to it that they've gone ahead to go ahead of Spurs, and Spurs is really going down. And everyone who has been watching this channel, I've been really very vocal onto how Spurs cannot obviously be a team to compete for the trophy. Even finishing the top 5 is obviously going to be a tug of war, as they are not yet there. They are not yet there. People have not gone ahead to obviously see what a new manager bounce is, and certain fans were really comparing him to Erik ten Hag. Look at how he's really performing. You know, Erik ten Hag is bogus now. Ange Postecoglou is obviously doing wonders. I say, guys, let's wait and see. In the first 10 games, Spurs were still on top of the table. Now, 2-3 games later, look at what's going to happen. They have 26 points, and if at all United win today, they are going to be at 24 points. So let these first games lie to you. Spurs don't have the quality that teams like Arsenal, Manchester United, even Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool do have. All you have to understand is that Ange is a very good manager. He just needs to be given time to obviously see to it that he gets better. I don't want to see hashtags on Twitter or on X trending that this guy out, Ange Postecoglou out. No way. He had only a first 11 and he never had a bench. This problem also affected Mikel Arteta when he came in at Arsenal, especially in his second full season of 2021-2022. starting off the season, losing to Brentford 2-0, losing to Chelsea 2-0, and losing to Man City 5-1. So he never had his players. But when his players really returned, because most of them were really suffering from COVID, he really had a lot to offer and even finished 5th. And after that season, he went ahead to compete for the trophy the next season. And even this season, he's competing for the trophy. And as we speak right now, Aston is top of the table. So I think if Spurs want to get something out of this season, first and foremost, they have to do the following. First, they have to back their manager during the January transfer window. They have to back their manager. That is it. They have to back him up. How do they back him up? By really signing him players that can obviously fill the boots of these players when they get injured. When you look at that central defense, when Van der Ven and Sergio Romero are really out, it's hard for them to obviously come in through and obviously compete. So they need other central defenders that can meet the levels of the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. So for the manager of Aston Villa, I'd like to congratulate him. His first spell in the Premier League again at Arsenal never went ahead to work on well, but at Aston Villa, it's obviously working on well, and they're really having some good quality players. But the big question is, can they keep these players? For example, Olle Watkins is firing in all the cylinders, and teams like Arsenal are looking at him. And don't be surprised if at all Olle Watkins comes in through to leave in the summer. If Amaja is going ahead to extend his contract for 5 more years at Aston Villa, but that has been just security to see to it that they can obviously make more huge money out of him. For example, they sold Jack Grealish at £100 million. So they might be having 2-3 players to obviously come in through and cost that amount of money. For example, Moussa Diaby is a player that many teams are obviously going to be looking at. Douglas Luiz, Arsenal is looking at for him, and Olle Watkins. So they might be there, and they might be going to get close to £300 million in the sale of 3 players, because those 3 players are going to be on the market. That is it. In the summer transfer window, they are going to be in the market. The January transfer window, I don't see them selling these players, but in the summer, they will sell these players, because there will be a chance for them to obviously go in and reinforce their squad, and they cannot say no to that amount of money. So even on Jack Grealish, they set £100 million ceiling, and then Man City came in through and really cashed out for the player. Aston Villa cashed in and they sold him. So teams like Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool are really hungry for players that are at Aston Villa, and that trio is really going to be one of those that everyone will be looking at to obviously bargain. Now let's go to the match stats and see how everything really panned down at the side of the London Stadium. It was really shocking for Spurs, having gone ahead to really get the lead, and they went ahead to score, by the way, 3 goals that were really ruled out that they were offside. So looks like luck was not on their side, but it is never over. Now Tottenham had 18 shots, Aston Villa had 15. Tottenham had 8 shots on target, Aston Villa had 5. 63% ball possession by Tottenham Hotspur and 37% ball possession by Aston Villa. 626 passes completed by Tottenham Hotspur, 377 passes completed by Aston Villa, 90% passing accuracy by Spurs, and Aston Villa had 85% passing accuracy. Then we had 11 fouls by Tottenham Hotspur, 13 fouls by Aston Villa, 0 yellow cards to Tottenham Hotspur, 4 yellow cards to Aston Villa, 0 red cards to to Aston Villa, and 0 to Tottenham Hotspur, 5 offsides to Tottenham Hotspur and 2 offsides to Aston Villa, then 9 corners to Tottenham Hotspur, and it was 3 corners to Aston Villa. Let's get down to the table and see how things are obviously standing and panning out for this side. Now the table is clear. I think it's now Man United, Everton, and I think there is another team. Is it Fulham, right? That is going to play that is going to play a certain team that is obviously going to hate to play 12 games. But United, this game is going to hate to kickstart off, and it's still 0-0. But Arsenal is topping the table. 13 games played. 13 games having been played. They're having 30 points. Man City, they're having 29 points. Liverpool, 28. Aston Villa, 28. Tottenham Hotspur shrinking every other match that really goes on, all passes by, and they're having 26 points. Newcastle is having 23 points. Brighton is having 22 points, and Manchester United is having 21 points. So, West Ham is having 20. Chelsea is having 16. Brentford is having 16. That is the top half of the table, and that's how things are really panning out into that ilk. So, that has been it. Aston Villa is going to hate to win the day, and they're going to hate to put up a show, and the show has been really massive. It has really gone ahead to really give us the best of the best. And guess what, guys? Garnacho is going to hate to score a thriller, and guess what? It's really 1-0 for the club of Man United. And let me end it here because I need to really watch this goal because it has been really magnificent. But Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 0. This is all about the Premier League, and Aston Villa have gone ahead to win. The Christians, thank you for praying today, and may the Lord fulfill all your endeavors. And for the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, me out.